So in this video, we'll calculate the excess burden and the welfare for the campus. Now, how can we calculate the excess burden? The excess burden happens because of the tax on coffee. So we must work with the data about the tax of coffee. So these things over here, the quantity demanded and the price of the coffee. Now, when do we have this excess burden? It happens because the tax of coffee implies or causes the quantity demanded of coffee to decrease. We want to know what is going to be that change in quantity demanded. In other words, we must find out what is the quantity demanded of coffee without the tax and the quantity demanded with the tax. So when we have no tax, the math would be simple. We would have just the quantity demanded of coffee equals to 300 minus 100, the price of coffee. And the price of coffee is given to us equal to 1 euro. So minus 100 times 1, 300 minus 100, that's equal to 200 cups of coffee demanded. Now, what would be the quantity demanded of the coffee with the tax? Quantity demanded of the coffee with the tax. Well, that would be still our function, 300 minus 100, 300 minus 100 times the price. But the price increases by the amount of the tax. And we found out in the previous video that tax is going to be equal to 1 euro. So the price that we'll keep in mind will be 1 euro of the coffee plus 1 euro of the tax. So we will have here 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1. So if we solve the math, what do we get? 300 minus 200, that's equal to 100 units, 100 cups of coffee. What is the change in quantity demanded due to tax? By the way, this happened with the tax. Well, the change is worth 100 cups, right? We decrease the quantity by 100. The change in quantity demanded of coffee is equal to 200 minus 100, and that's worth 100 cups. Now, what is the excess burden? We know that graphically that would be the area of a triangle, so we can calculate it pretty fast. That excess burden would be a half times the tax that we charge times the change in the quantity demanded of the coffee. So we have all the data, we have the tax, we have the change in the quantity demanded, meaning that the excess burden would be equal to a half times the tax of 1 euro times the change of 100 cups of coffee. 100 divided by 2, that's equal to 50 euros. So 50 euros worth of excess burden, distortion in the consumption of the students. Now, with all this in mind, how can we calculate the welfare? Remember, the welfare is just the difference between the total benefits of the consumers and the total costs. And in this case, we have two costs. We have the costs of providing the coffee and the costs that are the excess burden, right? These are also considered costs, or better said, these are losses. It's better to think in losses, probably it makes more sense. So the efficiency, or the welfare, let's say, it will be the difference between the total benefits minus the total costs. What are the total benefits for the consumers? Remember, they have benefits from having flowers on the campus. So we have them over here. That's 2 times F, where F is the number of flowers. And we said that we're going to plant 100 baskets of flowers. So 2 times 100 is going to be the total benefit. So we have it over here like that. The total benefit, let me choose a different color. So it's equal to 2 times 100. We have here 2 times 100. The total cost is worth 100 euros because every basket costs 1 euro. So minus 100 plus the excess burden that we just calculated of 50 euros. So 200 minus 150 is equal to 50 euros worth of welfare. So the welfare on the campus increases by 50 euros by planting the flowers and raising money through the taxes. Because if they don't do that, they would have no welfare from the flowers, right? The total benefit would be just 2 times 0 flowers, which is equal to 0, meaning that the increase in welfare is worth 50 euros. Hope this all makes sense. In the next video, we go to part C.